So there's obviously something I need to talk about first, and that is the fact that this show got a lot of hate. It wasn't deserved because of how it happened. Like the show had just barely dropped and people were giving it negative reviews. There was no way for them to have even been able to watch one episode, let alone the three that dropped. And I remember there's this fucking TikToker that blew up with his stupid little rant about Ironheart, and he said a lot of dumb shit. But when he posted it, he would have only been able to watch like maybe the first episode, but he acted like he had watched all three when he didn't. And then he says the really stupid comment of that Ironheart kills people. I don't think she did in the show. She might have done something that severely injured people, but I don't think she killed anybody in this show. Um, but he's like, Iron Man wouldn't approve of that. Yes, Iron Man. The guy who fucking was killing people in his first movie, in his second movie, in his third movie, in the Avengers movie, and so on and so on. Like, just because he doesn't fucking pick Loki up by the head and smash his head into the ground 50,000 times doesn't mean he isn't killing people. Like, he's still killing people, they're just less important characters. He fucking. One of the most famous scenes from Iron Man is him walking away after blowing a bunch of people up. He manufactured weapons. He is a killer, but this idiot was like fucking saying that Iron Man wasn't a killer. Really, really stupid opinion. But let's talk about the show itself. Um, I don't think it's as bad as people said, but I wasn't a big fan of it. But then again, I'm not a big fan of MCU shows. I think I've watched probably all of them, even though I haven't really cared for any of them. Some of them I have fun with while they're coming out, but then in like a year, I won't really remember that much about it. Like, I really enjoyed She Hulk. It got a lot of hate. I enjoyed it. Can I tell you stuff that happened from that show? Not really. I can tell you some stuff. Um, Not that much, though. I think Miss Marvel and Falcon and the Winter Soldier were probably the ones I enjoyed the most. Moon Knight was pretty good. Still don't really remember much about that show. The MCU shows are just quick content that they pump out, and they're fun while they come out, but in the grand scheme of things, they just don't stand out to me. The three MCU projects I personally love are the first Avengers movie, Captain America Civil War, and the first Black Panther. Other than that, a lot of these movies don't really stick out to me. And that goes the same for the shows. Ironheart, a lot of fun at times, boring at times. I didn't start watching it until all the episodes were out. But funnily enough, I watched the first three episodes and then stopped. Like, I don't know why I did that. All the episodes are out now. But yeah, Riri, she's likable at times. Other times, I'm not a huge fan of her. Her relationship with Joe is kind of odd. He blackmails her. She blackmails him, and they end up becoming somewhat friends, and then they become enemies. It wasn't great. Like, Joe blackmails her, and in the same episode, she goes and helps him because he's blackmailed her. But during the scene where she's helping him after being blackmailed, he asks her if they're friends. That should have been a later conversation. But yeah, he just blackmailed her, and now they're friends now, I guess. In that scene, it's also revealed that he is the son of the villain from Iron Man 1, Abana. Abadiah? Abadiah, yeah. Abadiah Stane. And apparently, in the public, he was like Tony, for whatever reason, or whoever decided to make that call, made the public think that Abadiah Stane was actually a good person. He didn't try and kill Tony or any of that. and the official records of his death were that he died in a plane crash. Um, Joe apparently knows that he's actually a bad guy, and I mean, they don't say why. Maybe he saw the plans. Maybe he walked in on his dad ranting or something. But apparently, he knows that his dad was actually a bad guy and that that was a cover story. I wish they would have told us how he knew. It's not like some huge plot hole or something that I think is really bad. But I would have liked to know how he, figured it out. Because if it's in the public that he died in a plane crash, why is his son, who was probably 10 at the time that happened, maybe teenage years? Joe is 36, actually. Let me do the math on that real quick. Okay, so I did the math. I think Iron Man does take place in 2008. So he's 36 in the show, is what he says. So that would be 17 years ago. He would have been about 19. So, I mean, I guess he could have put two and two together. But, yeah, I would have liked to know more about that. It's been a while since I've seen the Iron Man movies, and I didn't really particularly like them. I haven't even reviewed them on my channel yet. So, I didn't know that apparently Abadiah Stane was not known to be a bad guy. Um, and he even says, like, Abadiah Stane's, like, secret identity villain name. He calls him the Ironmonger. Um, so, I mean, maybe that's something they did in the Iron Man movies, but I don't remember it. A big criticism of this show from other people, not from me, is that this show wants you to watch other projects to, watch it. Like, they listed 8 movies, where Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, her first appearance, and some of the Iron Man movies, some other movies, whatever. They wanted you to watch those movies so you would be able to understand this show better. Fanboys, for whatever reason, took that as, like, a bad thing, even though Endgame had, like, 23 movies before it, and you would have had to have watched quite a bit of them to know the characters that were in this movie, and that was what made it so impactful, was all of these characters coming together. Though, yeah, like, most of the characters, probably none of the characters actually, from those previous projects show up in this show. You still need that. Like, with comic books, you can't complain that you had to read a previous comic book to understand the 20th comic book. That it's a thing that you have to indulge in a lot of media to be able to understand it. Like, just don't watch superhero movies if you don't want to have to watch a bunch of movies. Like, it's just a ridiculous argument, in my opinion. Hood was greatly cast. He does a pretty good job. Though I do think it was stupid to portray it like he is being slowly corrupted by the Hood and getting worse and worse, even though he kills a character in the second episode off screen. And he's portrayed he's portrayed like he's a bad guy pretty early on. And now we have these people that know him telling him that he's, like, not like this and shit, which I personally did not agree with. From what I saw in the character, yeah, he very much is like that. Even in flashbacks, he doesn't seem like that nice of a guy before he was corrupted with the Hood. Like, he was still a bit of a dick. Maybe he wasn't a killing person dick, but he was a dick. The Ironheart Hood final battle was kind of anticlimactic. He tries to turn invisible. She has got some powers now from some magic, and it's able to stop him from turning invisible. He easily destroys her suit, which we already just saw that happen in the fucking previous episode, was her getting beat up by somebody. Um, way to show your character strong. I think you should show a character to be stronger than she was in this show. Like, it's not a heavy criticism, but have her win some fights, man. Especially the big ones. She, in the 5th episode, she loses a fight and she's able to get out of it just because she talks him down. Like, he's gonna kill her, and she's like, you don't have to do this, and he's like, well, get out of town, I won't do it. And yeah, but it turns out that she didn't actually lose this fight. It's just a hologram, and then she takes his hood, and he tells her it hurts, and she says, I know, and that's really the end of Hood. There's a post-credit scene where he goes to one of her friends and asks her to help him with magic. Maybe that'll go somewhere. With a lot of the stuff that's happened in the MCU, I won't be surprised if it doesn't go anywhere. Because Doctor Strange had one of my favorite post-credit scenes, where they set up Doctor Strange having to confront Mordo. And apparently all of that happened off screen, just for him to fight Mordo anyway, but it be a different Mordo. I can't explain how stupid that is. Doctor Strange 2 was not a good movie. But we're not here to talk about Doctor Strange 2. We get Dormammu mentioned in this movie. Ironheart, not movie, TV show. Ironheart makes fun of his design, I guess, is what I got from it anyway. And Mephisto finally shows up. Fans have been speculating that he's going to be in an MCU show for years. Way back when WandaVision came out, people thought Mephisto was going to be in it and behind the scenes doing stuff. But he was not. He's finally here, and the actor did fine from what we got to see of him. He's only in the last episode and has a few scenes here and there. But, yeah, this show was just fine. I think I probably ranted more than talked about the actual show. But that's because there wasn't that much to talk about, at least in my opinion. The show does deal with grief. Ironheart, Riri's friend, passed away at the end of the first episode. She magically is able to accidentally, using brainwaves, create her dead best friend into an AI form. And that is probably one of the things I like the least. Now we have her hanging out with her dead friend, but it's an AI, and of course she's obviously weirded out about it, seeing her dead best friend in the same room as her, but she can't touch her, can't do basically anything but, talk to her and have her do commands for the suit. Yeah, it's very strange to me. It feels a little bit like AI propaganda, where they want to normalize AI and be like, oh, it can be cool. It can help you see your dead relatives again. But I just left a bad taste in my mouth personally. Understandably, one of her friends, who is the brother of the dead girl, is not happy, but he gets over that pretty quickly too. He's like, I still don't like it, but I guess I'll try for you. It's strange. The mom wants her to make their stepdad so she can talk to him, but it was like a complete accident, so she can't really do that. I just didn't really care for this show. It's definitely not the worst MCU show I've watched, though. Um, that would probably have to be What If season 2 because I don't even remember it. I remember What If season 1, but I don't remember What If season 2. And I haven't watched What If season 1 since I've watched it. So the newer release is the one I don't remember. I didn't even watch What If season 3. Overall, it had its fun moments. Riri will probably be a really cool, person to see in future installments of movies. And like I said, the cast was talented. They did their best with the script, and I did like the first 3 episodes. They were pretty fun. But yeah, overall, it wasn't the greatest show, but it did deserve the hate it got in the way it got. It was really stupid.